Good evening and welcome. My name is Mark Nigber and I serve as the board chair of the St. Johns County Chamber of Commerce. I'm also the president of the board for the Habitat for Humanity affiliate in St. Augustine and St. Johns County, and I'm currently the vice president of marketing and communications at Advanced Disposal. I'll be your host and moderator for this evening's live town hall with the candidates for St. Johns County Commission, District 1. On behalf of the St. Johns County Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to thank everyone who is tuning in on their computer or mobile device to join us in the Chamber's first virtual town hall for the 2020 election season. It's been a tradition of the St. Johns County Chamber of Commerce to host Politics in St. John, the county's largest meet and greet and nonpartisan voter education resource. This year, due to the crowd size restrictions imposed by COVID-19, we've transitioned from the traditional in-person events that were held in Ponte Vedra Beach and St. Augustine to an innovative new online format, which will include candidate videos hosted on the Chamber website at www.schamber.com. along with the online straw poll and this evening's town hall discussion. At this time, I'd like to recognize and thank our sponsors for their support. We'd like to thank Advanced Disposal, the presenting sponsor of this year's Politics in St. John's virtual forum and tonight's live town hall. And thank you also to our patriotic sponsors, Advanced Business Solutions, Ameris Bank, Constagi, Brooks, Smith and Profit, Florida Power and Light, and Northrop Grumman. We're grateful to all our sponsors for supporting both 2020 Politics in St. John's Virtual Forum and the Chamber's efforts to bring a nonpartisan election resource to the voters of St. Johns County. Before we introduce the candidates and begin the conversation, I'd like to outline the format for this evening's town hall. The three candidates for County Commissioner District 1 are joining us remotely via Zoom from their individual locations. Chamber staff are hosting the Zoom event behind the scenes and broadcasting the town hall live to Facebook. The Chamber's received a number of questions from voters prior to this evening's event. I will ask our candidates those questions to start the conversation. You, the audience, are encouraged to share your questions with us by typing your question in the Facebook comments below the live feed or sending the Chamber a private message through Facebook. Without further delay, let's introduce our candidates for St. Johns County Commissioner representing District 1. We're going to introduce our candidates in alphabetical order by last name. The order doesn't reflect the views or the opinions of the Chamber, its members, or its sponsors. Each candidate will have 3 minutes to share a little bit about themselves with the audience before we open up the discussion with questions. The candidates for St. Johns County Commissioner are Mr. Jimmy Johns, Mr. Joe Mcinerney, and Mr. Christian Whitehurst. For opening comments, Mr. Johns, please begin.
Thank you and good evening. I appreciate everybody's participation. It's important that people make informed and educated decisions when voting this year. I was raised in this area, raised a family in the area, earned degrees in physics from Jacksonville University and civil engineering from the University of Florida. After working for International Paper Company, I started my own company, Solid Rock Engineering. For the past 16 years, we've provided relevant experience to our community by providing permitting services for businesses that create jobs for people. It provides a shorter commute for people's shopping needs. I've guided people through permitting processes through multiple agencies simultaneously, which can be a very complex process. I want to use this relevant experience to guide our community through the permitting processes, through multiple agencies, to restore our beaches and to understand and communicate with these other agencies the importance of healthcare for our community, because we've got to be safe in order to be able to work, to be able to put food on the table, and keep each other healthy and safe in this environment. It's been an honor to serve for the past 5 years, and I asked people to vote for me for one more term. Being a commissioner is not my career. Being an engineer is my career. But despite being an engineer, I like people. I like to know what attracts them to our community, what keeps them here, because the majority of us, we do have a choice. And we're in competition with our surrounding counties and our surrounding states to attract high quality people, high quality businesses, so that we can continue to be number one in the school system, healthiest county, highest per capita income in the state, in our county. And the list goes on because of the participation of people in our community. We're a very diverse community. We're like different jewels on a necklace. St. Augustine is different from Nocatee. It's different from Juliana Creek. It's different from Hastings. And in order to keep those qualities the same that attracted people or keep people here as we do grow, it's important that we all participate in the process. So I want to thank the Chamber and everybody who's participating in this process this evening to learn the differences between the candidates for St. Johns County Commissioner, because experience matters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Johns. Mr. Mcinerney.
Well, good evening. My name is Joe Mcinerney. I'm a retired architect with over 40 years of experience in codes and standards, and I'm ready to serve as your county commissioner on day one. My wife and I chose St. Johns County in 2004 because of its natural beauty and easy living, but things have changed, and not all for the better. For the last 4 years and then some, we've watched our county become overrun by development, while our schools cannot keep up and our roads have become overcrowded and derated. We need to turn our county around and make an investment in a better future. That's why I'm running for St. Johns County Commissioner. It's why I'm the only candidate here tonight who has not taken campaign contributions from big development companies. I'm also the only candidate who has made available on my website real, clear ideas for how we can make St. Johns County a better place. A place with a strong, independent economy that produces billions of dollars right here instead of going to Jacksonville, while still protecting what we love about living here. And we have the tools to do it right here at the Chamber of Commerce, for instance. The Economic Development Council, among others, would be key partners in vision planning to bring sustainable jobs to St. Johns County. That's on top of putting families first and focusing on real smart growth to stop overdevelopment by balancing conservation and growth. I look forward to discussing these real issues and showing you that we can choose full-time leadership for our county's future by voting for me, Joe Mcinerney, on November 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mcinerney. Mr. Whitehurst, you're next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christian Whitehurst, and I am running for County Commissioner District 1. I moved to this community 22 years ago while I was still in high school, and I'm currently raising my family with my beautiful wife, Courtney, here in Julington Creek Plantation. After high school, I went straight to work and bought that business. Through a lot of hard work and a lot of sweat equity, we were able to grow the brand and grow the reputation that allowed me to open up my second location some years later. I'm very passionate about the future of St. Johns County. I believe that we need strong, decisive leadership in order for St. Johns County to reach its potential in the coming years. Let me tell you what that means to me. I think that we need to be a more business-friendly atmosphere here in St. Johns County so that we can attract jobs here, right at home. To do that, I want to get government out of the way. So when I'm elected, I will create a task force and we will review every tax, fee, and regulation that's on the books that is affecting our business, and we will determine which ones are necessary and which ones are simply government waste. It's no accident that over half of our workforce leaves the county to earn a living. As a small business owner myself, I think that's unacceptable, and we have to fix that as quickly as possible. I also think it's fantastic that we get to raise our children in the #1 school district in the state of Florida. So I will stand with our school board and make sure that while our children are attending these schools, that they're safe and secure. I'll make sure that we have adequate funding to provide an officer in all of our schools, K through 12. I will always stand with our veterans. My family and I feel that we owe a great debt to our veterans for the sacrifices that they've made for this country. So when the veterans community comes to me, whether it's homes, jobs, mental health resources, I will make sure that we solve the problem together. For those reasons and many others for the future of St. Johns County, I'm asking for your vote on August the 18th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whitehurst. All right, we'll get started with questions. We're going to ease into one, and then we'll get into the more of the specific ones. First off, and we'll start with you, Mr. Mcinerney. What motivated you to run for this office?
Well, as I said, my wife and I moved here in 2004. We love the beauty and just the natural amenity around us, the convenience of travel and traffic. But things have changed, as I've said. I talked to a number of people around the county, and they mentioned again and again overdevelopment, overcrowded traffic, overcrowded schools. And I am retired. I have good knowledge of codes and standards. I can begin on day one, evaluating land use changes and evaluating those proposals, listening to our excellent planning staff, and from day one, making good decisions that benefit our entire county.
Thank you. Mr. Whitehurst, you're next.
As I mentioned in my opening remarks, I moved here 22 years ago. I've experienced this school system as a student. I'm raising my children here. My daughters are 4 and 2 years old. They will be attending the public school system here. My parents also live here. This is the last house that they're ever going to live in. So I'm very invested in the future of St. Johns County. I know that St. Johns County is special for a lot of reasons, but it didn't get that way by leaving it on autopilot. It took a lot of people working hard together in every region of this county. And I think that we can do better in making sure we're adhering to smart managed growth principles. I think that we can do better in making sure that this remains the best place to raise a family. I think that we can do a better job of making sure that we continue to have the most beautiful beaches on the coast. And those are some of the things that I hope to tackle when I'm elected to be the next county commissioner.
Thank you. Mr. Johns? Mr. Johns, you're going to have to take yourself off mute.
Thank you.
It's
an honor to serve the community that I grew up in. We've all been given many things throughout our life, from help through our education years, a first job, a promotion, introduction to somebody who becomes a spouse over the future. Serving the community is my way to give back to the community in which I grew up in. It was an honor to be appointed by then Governor Scott out of 18 candidates to serve when Cindy Stevenson was elected in a special election to the state Senate. I found quickly that the job is primarily helping people find answers to questions or path to a goal. Growing up here, we did not have the number one accolades that we have today. Our community has evolved into a thriving area that's attractive to so many people for all of the right reasons. It's not unfettered growth, it's managed growth because of the collaboration of our community, working together for the greater good of everybody, not just for special interest groups. So I enjoy the opportunity to help people find paths to goals, to answer questions, and to serve the community. If there's any way that I can help people, I put my cell phone number on my card and my email address because I'm accessible to people. I want to be able to help them in simple ways and in big ways. So that's why I'm asking to serve one more term as a county commissioner to continue the #1 trends that we've earned in the last few years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johns. We're going to move into the next question, and we'll start with you, Mr. Whitehurst. Sort of more of a here and now, what's happening. What do you propose to help small businesses who are struggling or closed during the pandemic?
Well, you know, I've lived this as a small business owner myself. I own 2 retail stores, and we were closed from March 19th until May the 4th. And I will tell you that if you are in the business of helping people who walk through your door to earn a living, I think the #1 thing that we can do is just simply get government out of the way and allow small businesses to run. Let them open their doors. I found that most business owners are willing to protect their customers and take the necessary steps to protect their employees. And we've seen that time and time again. If they have a case of coronavirus, they've been willing to, on their own, shut down their stores. I don't think it's government's place to close private businesses. And as a county commissioner, that's the first thing that I would be committed to doing, is making sure that these private businesses, these small businesses, have a fighting chance to survive during these difficult economic times.
Mr. Johns?
Thank you. My opponents will tell you what they will do if they're elected. I will tell you what I have done as a commissioner to help businesses during this coronavirus. As soon as the statewide shutdown occurred, it was evident that was significantly impacting businesses and people's ability to put food on the table and buy medications. Therefore, I urged our county staff to work with the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development Council, our health experts, our sheriff's office, and look for ways to improve opportunities to make ends meet. Short-term cash flow was the primary concern at the time, because it was apparent that our unemployment system was not working to meet the needs. So therefore, we put into place the Small Business Recovery Kit Program, the Small Business Emergency Assistance Grant Program, the Community Development Block Grant Business Support Program, the Shop and Dine St. Johns County, the Pledge St. Johns County, and the list goes on in order to help businesses financially, provide PPE at no cost to our businesses, provide financial assistance to our residents to help them be able to pay their electric bills, pay their mortgages. It's one of those things that the small things in life can make such a big difference, but you've got to respond quickly. And at the local government level, we've proven that we can respond quickly to unexpected catastrophic events, such as we had the hurricanes, and we're doing so now. That's why experience matters when it comes to being a county commissioner. Thank you.
Joe?
So I will say that the county staff has done really an outstanding job of creating a hotline to respond to questions from small business owners and private citizens. The county has utilized the millions of dollars received from the federal government and put that to good work. The county has looked at its own community development block grant program and temporarily diverted those funds to hotline programs, COVID response type programs. Fortunately, the county did have some land in the Nocatee area and found an agreement with SONOC to repurchase that land and did replenish the community development block grant. But as a county, we need to make a commitment to maintain our staff and those hotlines and be prepared to answer any and all questions that come from our small businesses. We've been very fortunate to receive federal money and been able to put that federal money to work. And I'm very, very pleased at our county staff for all the work that they've done.
Thank you. Next question is more of a long-term sort of strategic question. It has long been talked about that St. Johns County needs a more equal balance between residential and commercial property tax revenues. What are your specific initiatives to bring substantial commercial, specifically long-term, capital-intensive industrial business, and not just bedroom residential retail commercial businesses to the county? Mr. Johns, how about we start with you?
Thank you. This is right up my alley as an engineer working with smart development that's balanced. Obviously, we first and foremost eliminated the commercial impact fee. By doing that, we doubled our commercial revenue from ad valorem and sales tax from growing and new businesses that immediately started moving into our community and expanding without raising taxes or without raising millage rates. Because of that one-time fee being eliminated, we have now an annual recurring benefit to our community. We're increasing the percentage of our revenue coming from our non-residential commercial and industrial businesses versus our residential. It's critical that we have a balance. And as I understand it from most economists, you need somewhere around a 35-65 or a 40-60 balance between commercial being the heaviest part of the revenue sources versus the residential. And our numbers are worse than backwards. The residential revenues, we're dependent on residents by much more of the percentage than our commercial businesses. I invited Tesla to move their headquarters when they said they were looking to our community. That's not a big stretch because they already have business in Daytona. They have businesses on the west coast of Florida. And I wanted people to know that while we are going through this pandemic, we are doing so safely to attract and continue to bring high-paying jobs that are not as affected by pandemics or recessions to help balance the revenues coming from our tourism development.
Mr. McInerney.
Well, Mark, that question hits exactly on my platform calling for sustainable jobs. And that platform was a result of reading the study prepared by the Thousand Friends of Florida and the University of Florida that did predict a county growing to 600,000 people, largely residential and retail strip shopping centers, which have been the decisions of our county in recent years. And when we are fully developed from Flagler County to Duval County with retail strip shopping centers, we are going to have low-paying jobs that require many, or if not most, of our families to get on the road, drive to Jacksonville for sustainable jobs. We need vision planning, Mark. We need all stakeholders to come to the table to make a determination of what we can be and the kind of jobs that we need. Talking, for example, to First Coast Manufacturing Association, an economic development network with our own chambers, Economic Development Council. We did conclude in talking together that we could bring jobs much like Palm Beach County has brought to this county. They have redefined industry as research and development, clean industry, biotechnology, pharmaceuticals. And Palm Beach County is pleased to report they've attracted companies now with over 23,000 employees at an annual salary of $88,000 a year. Now, we may not reach $88,000 a year, but we need sustainable jobs. We need them here, and we need, as stakeholders, to come to the table to have vision where we can locate those jobs. We need to not wait on developers to bring us their solutions, which is residential and strip shopping center. We need to be aggressive in going after what we want, where we want it, and what we need. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Whitehurst.
Yes, it was mentioned earlier, but we are way out of balance. And it's not lost on anybody who lives here that 60,000 homes have already been approved that haven't yet begun construction. So this board and the boards that have come before it have continued to approve more residences and have not done enough to attract businesses. There are small communities all across this country that have not just eliminated the impact fees, but also have put together incentive packages because they understand the long-term net benefit to the county of attracting jobs home, to the home community. So we've got to be more aggressive. We have to compete with small towns like Greenville, South Carolina, who have been able to attract a lot of jobs, with small towns like Buffalo, New York, who continue to beat us time after time in attracting jobs. So as a county commissioner, I will lead on these issues, making sure that we are fighting for jobs here in St. Johns County.
Thank you, Mr. Whitehurst. Our next question is, actually there's going to be two questions coming up relative to agriculture. Agriculture is a big business for St. Johns County, almost if not larger than tourism. While District 1 has limited agribusiness, you are elected by the entire county to make smart and long-lasting decisions for the entire county. What's your plan for supporting and giving greater awareness and opportunities for St. Johns County agribusiness? Let's start with you, Joe.
Okay. Well, once again, Mark, thank you for that. You're exactly right that all county commissioners represent everyone in the county. I happen to live in District 1, but I need to be sensitive to 2, 3, 4, and 5. So agribusiness, fantastic, over $1 billion a year in the goods and services that they produce. And I have heard that some businesses are going through some tough times. Some families are looking to perhaps sell. I can tell you that the First Coast Expressway is going to bring increased pressure Once that is, the bridge replaces Shands and brings 11,000 cars on day one to State Route 13. They'll head south, and there will be quite an incentive, perhaps, to change land use into development. As a county, we need vision. We need vision to determine where development makes sense and where agribusiness makes sense. I mean, I'm very proud that St. Johns County has farms, farming businesses, and we need to help our farmers, support our farmers, and to continue that pride in what St. Johns County is and can continue to be.
Thank you. Mr. Whitehurst.
I love living in a county with a thriving agricultural community and businesses. We all saw how quickly during a pandemic, the shelves at the grocery store can be cleaned out. I love living in a community where our food is grown right here. I like knowing the farmers that grow our food. They are all committed to excellence, and they've done a fantastic job, decade in, decade out, of producing food that really goes all over the country. When it comes to our agricultural industry, we are stronger economically for it. We are safer in times of crisis for it, and I will be a trusted partner with our ag community in making sure that they have what they need. You know, there's something called citrus greening that has plagued citrus farmers for the last few years. When crisis strikes our farmers, they need to know that they have somebody on the county commissioner who will do whatever it takes to make sure that they have the response that they need, and that a commissioner will listen to their needs. The farmers are the ones with their hands in the soil, doing the hard work, producing food for the world. And we need to make sure that we understand the importance of that and that we respond to their needs when they come to us.
Thank you. Mr. Johns.
Food security is the backbone of any given nation's ability to